We're just on the M5 at the moment. So well, welcome along everybody. It's a bit of a strange one, this one. I'm going to try it out. Basically I'm going to do the full length of the M50. So we're just on the M5 ready to come off now. It's basically where these roadworks start. So M50 is one of the oldest motorways in the UK. I think it was either the third one built or the third one finished. I'm not 100%. I think obviously the first one is the Preston bypass. I think there's quite a few which are joined second, like the M1, the M10, which is now the 414 down by St Albans, A414 that is, and obviously the M45. So where I tried to find information on it, it's quite vague, to be honest with you, but I know it is one of the oldest ones. So I encourage you to go and Google it yourself, find out what the actual history is behind it. But it's one of the first ones. But one of the good things about it is it's one of the ones which haven't really changed that much over the years. It's pretty much still the same as it was when it was first built. Now the only difference is that it used to run from Ross and Y up to the A38 by junction 1 on Tewkesbury. But then it did, obviously as the M5 got built, it extended a bit further on to the junction that we're going to be coming off now, which used to be, when the M5 was being built, that used to be the terminus of the M5 before it extended south, going all the way down towards Exeter, then finishing off in Exeter. So we're just coming up by Strensham now, which is pretty much where the M5 start. I haven't really got a junction number there. It's taking the junction number off the M5 more than anything, so it's classed as junction 8 to the M5, where technically it's junction 1 of the M50, but junction 1 is the next junction down. So this is a slip road now for Strensham services. We won't be calling in there today, we haven't long enough break. So we got roadworks here at the moment, just because the flyover, I think earlier on towards the end of last year, started subsiding, so they've had to strengthen the wall and stuff. So we'll see more of that now as we get a bit closer. You noticed when we go around, I got something a bit different. It's been a bit of a strange week with regards to loads. I'm not doing my usual low loader stuff. So on the back of me now I got a slider, just making our way back from Rotherham back to Port Talbot, but we're going to cover the M50 on this episode. As you can see, just on the right here, they're strengthening all the embankment. It was a wide load bay at the bottom down here. Obviously that's it's not being used there at the moment, just while they do these roadworks. They put on a lot of these, a lot of money being spent here, to be honest with you. So I can see these pylons are going in, and then probably they build up the bank to it, then they strengthen it up. So this would have been the terminus of the M5 at one point. So you're still on the motorway, still subject to motorway regulations, because it is motorway to motorway. But the M50 is quite special in the fact of the junctions of the M50 were like trial and error junctions. They tried out these junctions, and to be honest with you, junction 1 probably you could see in other places in the UK where it's got a slip road coming off down to a roundabout, and then it's got a single road then which passes underneath the motorway to another roundabout on the other side of the motorway. Where junction 2 is a slip road which comes off straight up to a T-junction. Don't really see that. It is about, but you don't really see it, because obviously you come into a complete stop. Normally it comes onto a roundabout, which is over the top. I think another place is you tend to see them sort of junctions is on the A roads, where another good example is on the A5 by Shrewsbury there. You come off the A49, turn right, first junction you come to, it's got the same style of junction where you got a slip road coming up to a junction, a T-junction, where you can either go right or left, which is what the same as junction 2 is here. Junction 3 on the other hand, well, I'm surprised they haven't redesigned that junction. It's a short slip road which comes around to the left and abruptly to a stop. It's numerous times I've seen the crash barriers where people have gone through, and then obviously then junction 4 is a bit like junction 5 the M8 where we just come off at, where you come to a roundabout. So another good example of that is coming to the end of the M4, on either end you'll come to a roundabout at the end of the motorway then. So it comes around, as you can see, around a little bit of a bend down to a roundabout, which is on the A38. The A38 goes underneath us now to another roundabout just on the right hand side, and then the slip roads come up. So you can see the slip roads ain't the best as they were being trialled and errored, you know what I mean? They found out that the best type of slip roads is more the case of, is like a hybrid version of number 2 then, where the motorway comes off on the slip road and comes onto a roundabout then, rather than onto a, you know, an abrupt stop onto a onto an A road which runs through. So more of a safer option that is then. Although junction 1 I have seen on other places in the UK, I think if the traffic flow was a bit higher it wouldn't handle it. It just can't handle it. I think another one where it's something similar to that is on the M56 where you come off for Runcorn. However, the junction has been improved over the years there, and obviously to allow for more traffic flow. But it is a similar sort of style where you've got to go underneath the motorway and meet up to another roundabout to come back on, I believe. I'm starting to think about it now, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I am wrong. No, I think I am right on that one. Yeah, I am. So we've got a couple of lakes either side. There were quarries at one time, dug out. I remember a few years back they were digging them out to get sand and then loading them onto the barges, and I do believe that this is the River Severn. If I'm wrong, it would probably be in the comments, so not to worry, somebody will probably correct me. Quite often this is flooded, this here on the left hand side. It's a bit wet down there at the moment, but it's not flooded. As you can see, the hard shoulders of this M50 ain't the widest. We'll see a bit more of it, you know, like beer is hatched off down beer. Then if you were to pull a truck into that, your door is pretty much in line with the white line, you know, on the live motorway, and you can't pull over anymore because there's soft edges on you, so you will sink. Like, another bit of a flyover for you now, and this is another place that often gets flooded. Not the motorway itself, but underneath. To be honest here, I find this motorway one of the more boring types. But I thought I'd give it a try because it is one of the oldest motorways in the UK. It hasn't changed really much since it was first built. It's still got the same setups, you know, same bridges, same junctions. The only difference is that the wildlife has grown a bit bigger than what it would have been when it was first built. Like obviously none of these trees would have been here on the left. All this would have been just fresh embankment, to be honest with you. But they have grown up over the years. Not very a busy motorway, but it is a major route into South Wales, avoiding the M5 going down to Bristol and then coming across the Prince of Wales Bridge. And obviously if them two bridges are shut, more times than not, you know, people will come up and use this as a bypass route, even though it's, you know, a fair old trek up. The other route is going across the A40 or going around Gloucester and then coming back down through Lydney and coming back out through Chepstow that way. However, they are A roads, and currently at the moment the A40 is closed, so you can't get through all the way through Gloucester, all the way through to Ross and White. However, you should be able to get over, you know, from Gloucester over to the Forest of Dean then, so you'll meet up with the 449 a bit further down. So it depends where you're going and what route you're going to take. That's taking a bit of a whack, isn't it? I remember coming down here, I was working nights with this company doing night trunking work, and it was over a course of a week we were having really bad electrical storms in the night, and we were coming down here, and there must have been about 400 to 500 strikes in that one night, and the sky was just lighting up, bang, 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 you know, with the lightning strikes. That's something impressive, because I've got a view here, and you've got a lot of sky in your view as well. Like, should be able to see it a bit better there now. And of course, you're coming down here, the mountains on the right hand side and in front of you as well, and you've seen all this lighting coming down. Phenomenal, phenomenal. It'll always stick in my memory, that will. Couple of little fun facts for you. Not many people know, but that you'll have these little blue square signs. It'll have the sign of the motorway, and it'll have obviously a number underneath, and these little posts will have the same as well. Now that's in kilometres, so it's every 100 metres you'll have a little post, and then it's every, I think it's 500 metres, I think it is, you'll have a sign in, and the location markers. Yeah? So if you ever break down, it'll ask you where your location is, and you'll say for example, Burnout, 10.9, that's a location marker you're at, and which direction you're heading in. So at the moment we're heading in the southwesterly direction, so you say 10.9 southwest, and they know exactly where you are on the motorway. As you can see here, on the left hand side, the hard shoulder is very, very small. Like, so you can see it haven't really been modified to cope with modern day traffic, so to speak. Like, so if you were coming down here with a large load and you were to break down, you're going to be very tight to the motorway. Well, it's a broken truck just down here now, so I don't know if you should have a glimpse of how close he is to the carriageway. It's what makes it one of the more dangerous sort of things. Like, yeah, and as you can see there now, we'll have a look where his tyres are. Literally just on the white line there, and that's his load is some sort of final destination load as well, with all that timber. It's not very an entertaining motorway, to be honest with you. There's a bit of a gap between junctions. There was a lot of roadworks here a while back. I was purely down to the bridge supports, obviously because of how old they are. The bearings on the bridge had to be replaced. So there was a lot of roadworks where you were down the one lane, and the journey time was it was probably about an extra 15 minutes to get through here, because with the volume of traffic trying to get through, at some points you were queuing quite far back, or if there was an accident or something, that didn't help matters. So going back to the markers, what you tend to find is that they'll count down to the nearest major city. So like the M4, let's take that one for an example, prime example. The major city for the M4 is London. It goes from London to Pont Abraham, and it passes many other cities as well, you know like Swindon, Bath, Bristol, Newport, Cardiff and Swansea as well. But it always counts down to the major city. Obviously the major city in the UK, being the capital of United Kingdom and England obviously, is London. So that's where the motorway counts down to. So if you're around the Midland area and you're going up the M5, it'll count down towards Birmingham, because that's where it terminates up by the M6. And you'll notice this with the junction numbers as well. So as the junction numbers are counting down, so will the mile markers be counting down as well. Or if you're going away from the major city and the junctions are counting up, then so will the mile markers be counting up. So we're just coming up to junction 2 now, the 417. This 417 will take you left towards left towards Gloucester, and then right towards Ledbury, then up towards Worcestershire. Get a couple of people ask me, what sat-nav do you own? I don't use sat-nav. You won't see any marks on my windscreen or anything like that. You'll never see me with a sat-nav on in here. because one, I don't own one. It's been driving now, no, near enough damn it, well no, what year is it, yeah, 20 years now. This will be the 21st year this year, come the end of the year. So when I started off, sat navs are quite expensive and just never really used them. And most of the time I'm following the movement order anyway, so can't use a sat nav for one of them. So this is junction 2. It's like you would think it was a normal style junction, but if you look at the slip road coming off now as we come in past, it comes off, and literally just up there is where it comes to an abrupt stop, where you've got the main 417 going left and right. So if you wanted to come back on, you haven't got a roundabout or anything like that, you come up there, come to a stop, turn right, and then you've got to turn right again at another junction, and that junction is a slip road. So it's not the usual sort of junctions that you would have, but you tend to see that junction more so on A roads, not so much on a motorway. But just bear in mind, this was built before a lot of A roads, so they would have taken that junction as a good example of what they could use, and obviously lower the cost down where you don't have that roundabout in between them. So it has been used elsewhere, but not so much on motorways. I don't think it has been used anywhere else on motorways, to be honest with you. You can see some of the old bridges here now, they are showing their age. I mean, they're definitely not of any modern design. Just passing the 19-kilometre marker. So we're just over halfway on the M50. We got junction 3 to go, and then obviously it terminates in near Ross and Y at junction 4, where we join up with the 449, and then later on that becomes the A40. So both roads share that number as the A40, and then they separate then down by Raglan, then where the 449 continues on the Newport, and the A40 then carries on towards Abergavenny, making its way all the way down towards Carmarthen and through to West Wales. These bridges which were built on a motorway, they were probably they weren't made to order, let's put it that way. They were probably right, we've got this designer bridge, we'll order, say for example, 15 of them, and we'll just install them where they need them to be, because the bridges are pretty much identical. These particular bridges, whether it be a footbridge or a car bridge, they're all the same sort of design. There's nothing special about it. But obviously a lot of hard work went in there, so we got I don't know who the bridge designer was, but they're still up, they're still standing, so his design worked. Probably don't know who he is, probably don't remember who he is. He done a good job. It's got to be about 60 years old now, if not a little bit more, this motorway. Again, Google it, find out the information for yourself. I did, like I said, I did try to do a little bit of research on it, but I'm not delving in it too deep. I drive trucks for a living, you know what I mean? Bit of debris on the right hand side, looks like somebody's lost the roof of their van, but that looks like that was in. It's a bit of a thing to come off. Didn't see no van, surely they would have noticed that coming off the back, unless it was on a trailer or something. Slightly different bridge, this one. I don't know if you can see it. Quite a high one, this one. Big arch on it. feel when this, the way this motorway is has been built, I feel that coming up to, obviously it terminated when it was originally built at junction 1 by the A38, and then as the M5 passed through, it was extended up to the M5. As the M5 was going to pass through, it was extended up. So it was just basically a terminus of the M5, and it was an extension then onto that when it was first thing before the M5 was carried through. But I do believe the way this motorway is and the way the M69 is, them two motorways should have met, I believe, but they both go in the same sort of direction when you look at it on the map. And if we were drawing a line, I honestly think that this M50 and the M69 should have been one motorway. So it would have gone from Ross and Y all the way to Leicester then. But then I do believe that this motorway would have carried on towards Newport, so it would have gone from Newport all the way to Leicester. So you can see on the motorway sign how bad this next junction is, junction 3, and how it's not more accidents on this junction, I do not know. But this junction here, I've never ever seen it again on the motorway network. This is the only place I've ever seen it, and you'll see why by how short and how slow you'd have to come around the corners to join, one joining the motorway and one to come off the motorway as well. Now, I have seen similar sort of junctions, but they've been on A roads, and obviously they've been going on to like farmers sort of areas, so coming across onto cattle grids and stuff. But here it's mind-boggling, because when this would have been built, I'm going to hold it out there, I'm going to say this probably wasn't a speed limit then. Obviously cars weren't as fast as what they are today, but even at coming off here at 70 mile an hour, you know, you don't need a 300 yard warning. You need a lot longer and a hell of a lot longer slip road, because you'll see it now. So you got 200, 100, and then here's the junction, and you can see literally as soon as you come off, you've got to brake and turn hard left, because there's the junction, and you get a better view on the right hand side. It literally comes off and comes straight to a T junction. Never ever been used again on a motorway, and that's because it's very dangerous. Like, the speed you're to come off around that corner is about 20, so you've got to slow down from potentially around about 70 mile an hour, and if you don't know that corner's there, you're just going to carry on straight on, which, you know, I mean, I think on the right hand side is you can see evidence of that happening. Like, so that's the last junction coming off, but obviously the terminus then has got its own junction number as well, which is the next one that we're going to be coming to, which it'll come to an end at junction 4, and you'll have a roundabout as well then at that junction. A lot of mistletoe on the trees here. You know we're coming towards the end, because you're getting nice long swoop-in curves. It's just makes it a nice little finish. We're about a mile before the end, currently just past the 33 km marker. And another one is this bridge that we're coming up to next. It seems to be more of a modern bridge compared to the ones which are generally on the motorway. So I don't know if this bridge was a later addition or if it was just built like this, but it's totally different to the ones the rest on the motorway, obviously, because it's been built with stone and it's got the concrete arch. So I don't know whether that was one of the original ones. I honestly don't know, but it is a different one, and obviously it comes up as we come in towards the end of the motorway. So it's about 34.5 kilometers, the full length of it, and this is coming up to junction 4. So if we go right here, it'll take us up towards Ledbury on the 449, and obviously if we go left, it's the A40 then, which takes us past Ross and White / A449. Both roads are basically integrated together, but as it is, it takes the lower number. So the 449 doesn't follow that now. Doesn't get displayed apart from brackets. So I think it gets called as the lower number, which is the A40 then. So that's the M50. Remember, if you like the video, please let me know, and I'll make more of these. Everything's a trial at the moment. I just want to see what works, what gets most attention, and I'll make some more content that way. Or if you prefer a variety of stuff of what I can do, then let me know. And if you have any requests, let us know as well. But most importantly, don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, like I said, once we get a few more subscribers and stuff, I'm in the process of doing the Discord community, getting it set up. I'll get in touch with a few trusted people I know as moderators before it starts off, and I understand where we're going from. But once that's all up, there'll be links in the description for the Discord. But if you want to follow me on Facebook as well, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. I post pictures quite regularly on them. And, yeah, until next time, catch you later.